Good morning, and you're very welcome to this morning's live. My apologies, I'm having a little bit of difficulty with my Wi-Fi, so hopefully this works okay. This morning and for the month of March, what we're going to be tackling is the topic of trends. So, trends can be a tricky area. We get tons and tons of questions about it. It can be really, really hard to try and figure out how to integrate some of the trends, some of the beautiful things that you see on Instagram, in magazines, into your home without them looking dated in a few years. And, this is particularly important when it comes to the big items, the things that are expensive to invest in and really expensive to replace. So, while we all want our homes to look up to date, we don't want them to look dated in a few years. So what my hope is for the month of March is to bring on some wonderful experts and just chat to them to help everybody get a little bit more confident, a little bit more insights into styling your home, accessorizing your home, choosing the finishes for your home. And then also just to help you to understand how to spot a trend that's here to last versus a trend that really is just going to be out of fashion or more of a fad in a few months' time. So I see, this morning my guest is Helen James, which I am super excited about. I'm such a fan. Honestly, Helen's collection is just so beautiful. It's so timeless. The pieces are just gorgeous. And really it's been the thing that's sort of gotten me through the chore of my weekly shop, just taking a look and browsing her collection and looking at all the beautiful stuff that she's producing. So it's really amazing, and I'm absolutely thrilled that she's going to come on this morning now and chat to us. So I see her waiting there. I'm just going to invite her. There. Hi, Ellen.
Hi, how are you?
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. You're very good.
Oh no, delighted. Thanks so much for asking me.
No, great. And listen, I was just saying what a fan I am of the range. And honestly, your collection is what's gotten me through my weekly shop, the chore of shopping, honestly. But it's just that little time to myself just to browse through the beautiful bits and pieces. So thank you so much. No,
Oh,
it's great.
that's
Beautiful.
lovely to hear. Thank you.
Well, look, I was just saying in the intro, Helen, like trends is something that we get asked about all the time, and it's something that people are quite nervous about. They're terrified of making mistakes. They might have fallen in love with a particular trend, but they're super nervous about whether or not to use it in their home. Will it date? Should they go for the safer option? So what I'd love to do is just chat to you about your process, how you approach trends, developing the collection, and hopefully give people some insights so that they can start to decipher between what's something that's here to last and then what's really a fad.
hmm
So one of the things I think would be really fascinating, just to chat a little bit about your design process, where you get inspiration from, how you approach designing the collection.
yeah, I mean, I think I get inspiration from everywhere, from all the usual places that we all
Yeah,
do, Instagram, Pinterest, um, and more so now, in this current situation that we're in, but also a lot from nature.
yeah,
And I think if you're a creative person, or even if you're somebody who's doing your home, and so that's something that you're have your attention on at that time, it's about opening up the concept of what inspiration for something can be. So just because you like the pattern on a dress and it
hmm,
might be blue and red, but you might think of that as something that you wear, but we need to open up and think about, well, if I love that color combination, how could I bring that into my home?
yeah,
So you might not want to paint your room red, but it might
hmm,
mean having a cushion with those colors in it, or bringing unexpected color combinations into your home. I mean, I think I design very intuitively,
hmm.
and I'm there was a great quote, actually, Bill Cunningham, the New York street photographer.
Yes,
He,
yeah,
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 there was a great documentary about him, and he said, went to Paris every year and to the shows and looking at people on the streets, and he said it was very much about training the eye.
Yeah.
And I think that is, you know, if you're doing your home, or you're like, for me, you know, it's a way of taking a record. I do a lot of screenshots on my phone, you know, so I see something and I'll just screenshot it on my phone, and then I'll go back and I'll look in the folder of screenshots on my phone. And it could be, you know, I was watching a movie and there was a girl with a t-shirt and dungarees on, and I just was like, oh, I love that combination of like the peach t-shirt and the denim dungarees. And so for me, it really, really does come from everywhere. And I think that the way that people can apply that is not to, you know, I wouldn't really be a great fan of you know, going onto Pinterest and looking at the picture of somebody else's room and saying, I want that room.
Yeah.
But it's more about, you know, in my book, A Sense of Home, I talk about this a lot, about like really trying to get in touch with what speaks to you personally. And you know, so if you have a lot of turquoise, you wear a lot of turquoise, well, like maybe you have a downstairs loo that you could paint turquoise or something like that. You know, that it's really about opening up your idea. And I think that Instagram and Pinterest and all of those, the exposure for people to all of those things has opened up people to be more adventurous in their homes.
I completely agree. My God, there's so many little nuggets of amazing advice in there. But I suppose the overarching one is look at yourself. You know, what do you love, and try and bring that out in your home. And, you know, it's something that we try and we really delight in doing, and helping people sort of bring out their own style, their own taste, because that's what it's all about. It's their home. So they need to love it. They need to feel really, really good in it. So it's like, you know, your clothes, it's exactly the same. But no, great advice, fabulous advice, really good, brilliant. And then I read a quote of yours actually, where you say, buy things you love and spend money on what you're going to use every single day. And that is just such brilliant advice, and it's very much at the heart of the collection, isn't it? So can you talk to us just a little bit about the ethos and your idea behind the collection?
I mean, it definitely, for me, the ethos of the collection is very much the William Morris ethos of everything should be functional or beautiful. But for me, it's also, you know, why can't the functional be beautiful? So, and I very much believe in, like, gone are the days where you had the good room, and you had, you know, the good cutlery and the good press and the good, you know, plates and stuff. So when I was starting the collection and continuing to design the collection, everything that I do, the idea is that it's to be used every day. The tableware, you know, so everything has to be sturdy and functional. I don't really do any decorative items, so to speak. And it's really about things that you're going to use every day. And I do really believe that there is value in eating off a beautiful plate, you know, and sitting down to a table with a beautiful tablecloth on a chair, you know, like creating an environment where you're surrounded by things that really speak to you. There's so much soul in that. Like, I think that really speaks to a very deep part of us. And there's lots of studies been done on this in terms of, you know, hospitals and, you know, I'm sure you're aware of all of that, but like how our environment really does affect us.
Oh, and my goodness. A huge amount. And actually, when we started out the lives, I chatted with a pal of mine who's a neuroscientist, Michael Keane, and that's what we were talking about, like the impact that your environment has on your well-being, on how you feel, on how you interact with other people. You know, actually, if the environment is so oppressive, it can cause arguments. It's incredible. So creating an environment that makes you happy, eating off beautiful plates, setting the table beautifully, of course, it's all going to enhance, you know, making you feel much better. So no, it's incredible, definitely.
And so, very much so, that was the ethos. And it's that those beautiful things are to be used every day, you know, that
Yeah.
we need to surround, and particularly now, obviously, when we are all in our homes so much and we are all eating at home every day, all our meals, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that and also another very important thing for me, and one of the reasons that I was so excited to work with Dunn's, was that it was accessible.
Yeah.
You know, that
Exactly.
it was an accessible price point, and that I
Yeah.
could, because of the scale, that I could offer beautiful design, what I think beautiful design, at a really affordable price point.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's really, that was very, very important to me.
No, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And you know what I love? And it's like I have so many of your things. I actually, I'm sure I have bits I don't even realize they're from you. But even say, take these amazing mugs, you know, and
Yeah,
they're just so beautiful. They feel so lovely in your hand. The colors are so lovely. But they could be from any time, you know, like yet they're
yeah,
so up to date. That's what I love about it. Like it's not like it's something that's trendy. It's definitely not. This is totally timeless, but then totally on trend as well. So you've really, you know, struck that absolutely perfect balance, which is so nice. It's so so nice.
oh, thank you.
No,
It's
amazing.
there's actually a palette, very much when I look back through my long time that I've been doing this. But I, even looking back to school, and then when I had my own fashion label, there's definitely a theme of a palette which very much comes from sort of the Dutch school of painting, like Vermeer, and that
Yes,
kind of northern. So there's lots of blues and mustards and pale grays with hit, and
gorgeous.
then
Yeah,
like a deep red and stuff. So
yeah,
when I look back through my career, I can see that palette has sort of followed me, you know,
lovely.
and it's something that I continually go back to. Um, yeah.
Yeah. No, fabulous. Oh my goodness, so lovely. And actually, my sister texted me this morning. Now, she never texts me about any of the people that I have on. No disrespect to any of the other guests, but she's like, oh my God, Helen James, I love her. And she said,
Oh,
please tell her to do more, to expand
oh,
the collection. Now, I know a lot of your ethos, though, is about having it pared back and
mm,
you know things aren't there for years and years and years. So like for example, I bought beautiful gray plates. Loads of them got broken because the kids were so small, but we were using them every day, so that's good. But you can't get them now, and in a way that makes them even more special. So is that part of the philosophy too, to keep it small, the collection in many ways? Or
yeah, keep it very focused, you know. I think
mm-hmm.
keep it very focused, and it, like, I really only, if something goes onto the shelf, I absolutely love it. You know, if
Great.
it's,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
there's a doubt, it's, I park it. And also being in Dunn's as well gives me the ability to say, you know what, sometimes I'll say, let's hold that, I'm just not sure, and I'll wait until maybe the next season, or, you know, and it might be like,
sure.
and I have done things, sometimes I've been too early, you know, we've done things, and it just hasn't worked, people haven't got it, you know. We did cushions, and now I'm seeing them everywhere, sort of cream, very textured cushions a couple of years ago, and they just did not sell at all. And I
Really?
just
I
think,
remember them. They were really lovely. Yeah,
yeah,
that's funny,
yeah.
isn't it?
And
Yeah,
I just
okay.
think it was, people just didn't get it, you know. It was
Interesting. Yeah, yeah.
but and then there are things like we have Portuguese tableware, the Avisa tableware, and things that so I will continue. So that's,
Mm-hmm.
we've been doing that now for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I do, there is like an element, and then there's actually, and more as the brand grows, and now we have gone into more stores, we're available in more Done stores,
Great. Yeah.
that there is more lines that are what they call never out of stock. So it's just continually, so the Avisa, the candles, the placemats, and other things, the Gobi
Mm-hmm.
chair, and so that those items, as the Avisa tableware, that you can build it and collect it
Yeah.
over time. And you know, if you're starting out, that might be a big investment to buy the whole collection, so you can, you know. But then on top of that, I think it's really important as well, just in terms of being a customer,
Mm-hmm.
that you have a layer of stuff that's going to come in and be gone, so
Yes.
that there is
Yeah.
excitement
Yeah.
about that, and it's
Yeah.
like, when it's gone, it's gone. So it's sort of a mix of both of those things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We will, um there are things that we'll just grow and continue, and we'll add. And like the Avisa, for example, we're adding new shapes. We've got, you know, jugs and creamers and sugar bowls and serving dishes and more pieces coming in. And then there are other things that we'll do where they'll just come in and go out.
And go out. Okay. No, it's great. And actually, like the collection, so am I right in saying that it started around eating and cooking at home? So it's all about that.
The first collection was, I designed it that it was the story of eating, having a small gathering at home, and it was from the start of the notebook that you wrote the list in, the shopping list, the bag that you know, a linen bag that you had your shopping in, and then the utensils and stuff to prepare the food, the plates to eat off, the napkins, the tablecloth, and then the thank you card that you wrote afterwards. So it was kind of the full circle of casual dining at home. And then as time went on, we sort of expanded out into the downstairs. So now, and actually the living area, cushions, lighting, furniture, all of that has become really big. So it has the collection has grown, but the cooking and baking at home, which is something I'm very passionate about, and so we are, for autumn, there's a new collection coming of more to do with baking and cooking at home again. So that's not something that I've forgotten.
But of course, it's become huge over the last 12 months. So, you know, from where you started has just absolutely expanded, which is incredible, really. No, it's incredible. And Helen, over the last 12 months, so I suppose if you were looking back to maybe February 2020 versus now, how have what's happened, or how has what's happened changed, or has it changed, or has it influenced, will it influence the direction going forward with the collection?
Yeah, I mean, it's because there's a big show in Germany in February that that I go to every year, or have done. Obviously this year I didn't go. And last year I remember going, and it was just the start of the people were talking about it, and I went with my colleague, and I said to her, you know, we're not going to shake anybody's hands, and so we were sort of saying hello, and vendors were laughing at us, you know, saying that we were overreacting, and it just seems like a different lifetime. But so in terms of process, that obviously has gone. I used to travel, you know, to Vietnam and Portugal and to the suppliers. Obviously that hasn't happened, and doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime in the foreseeable future. So things are taking longer to develop, just in terms of the process. But in terms of the range, you know, people have been in their home, and people have been paying more attention to their home, and obviously a lot of people aren't buying party dresses, so maybe people have a bit more money that they're spending on their home, and so I have been really busy. We have been really, really, really busy. And for me, it has been a very encouraging and exciting time, because I've actually, like, the brand has grown considerably in the last year. And people seem to be recognizing it or talking about it. And I think that, you know, having the platform of Duns and being accessible has been a fantastic opportunity to bring, you know, my ethos, or, you know, to people all over the country.
To a huge audience. No, it's fabulous. And I think as well, Helen, like, really the core of your ethos, of the collection, of what you're striving to do, is very much in line with how people are accessorizing their homes for the products that they're looking for at the moment. Because I think we've all sort of taken stock, we've all stepped back. I think people are being more considered in what they're choosing for their homes. You know, they're much less likely to go out and just buy things on a whim. I mean, you can't rush out. You can't go anywhere. So, you know, people are buying less, but they're being much more thoughtful
Yeah,
in
I
what
agree.
they're purchasing. And
Yeah.
that's just totally in line with what you're trying to do with
Yeah,
your
and that's
collection.
exactly what I try to do, is that everything is built to last, you know, and it's something
Yeah.
that will come into your home, and it's not fast fashion for your home.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
very much about, and as you said, that timeless thing, you know, and you were talking about trends, and like for me, yeah, I mean, obviously I'm influenced by trends because I'm a creative person and I'm looking
Sure.
constantly at what's going on in
Hmm.
you know, the design world, and but I do really, I, I do really believe in, again, like what I said at the beginning, that it's really about stuff what speaks to you. And
Yeah.
you know, I don't really buy into trends for
Hmm.
homes,
Hmm.
or you know, it's more about, and you know, so rattan furniture, or if that's a trend at the moment, but if that's
Hmm.
something that really speaks to you and you love it, then when it's not trendy anymore, it doesn't matter, because it's still something that you really love. So
Exactly. Yeah.
trends are
Yeah.
kind of irrelevant, you know. If you
Yeah.
like the whole
Yeah.
dark interiors thing that
Mm.
was, you know, Abigail Ahern and that whole,
Mm.
like, if that is what you love, and your house is completely painted black, and now everyone's going, you know, Scandi pale, but if you still love, then so who
Then
cares, you
that's
know? It's
perfect.
like, it's
Yeah.
your,
Yeah.
I mean, if there's
Yeah.
the one thing that we can do, is create our homes to be our own sanctuary and very much reflective of, you know, who you are and what you love,
Hmm.
then like for me, trends are kind of irrelevant, you know.
Mm, no, for sure. And you know, I think that's what we would have seen the same with people's homes. People are definitely looking to be a little braver, a little bolder, and make the space their own because they
Yeah.
have had so much time at home now. It's totally shifted their thinking, and that's a great thing. It's a really, really
Yeah,
good thing.
I agree.
Brilliant. One of the other things that I absolutely love about your collection is so many of the pieces are so versatile. Like there's so many uses. I'm not sure. I have this, which I use to put my little
Oh,
plants in, and I love this. But then I was in someone's house and they served me coffee in it, and you know, like
yeah.
they're
I have
wonderful.
it.
They're just gorgeous. They're
I have
gorgeous.
it there, and I keep my cotton pads for, you know, makeup remover
Lovely.
pads in it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
cotton
Yeah.
buds, or
Yeah.
you know, even your pencils. Um, so yeah, it's about your imagination, you know, what
Hmm.
you can, and I think that our homes now really need to be flexible, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like
Definitely.
little marble tables that I do, it's like they could be your bedside table, they could be in your living room, they could be in your kitchen dining room,
Hmm.
or there's a little wooden tray that I do, and I've, you know, seen that being used in bathrooms for people to organize their toiletries on it, or then with a coffee cup and a biscuit on it,
Gorgeous.
you know,
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so yeah, it's very much, and I think as well, I am very much drawn to a pared back and simple style, so that probably lends itself more to a multifunctional piece as well, you know, that it's not,
Hmm.
you know, it doesn't have as designated because it doesn't have, you know, bathroom written on it, or it doesn't have, you know,
Yes.
a picture of a kitchen on it, or something, you know, that
Yeah.
it's very pared back, and so yeah, you can use it in any room, you know, that you want.
Yeah, and it is so important because I mean, as you say, our homes need to be flexible, and we've all learned the importance of that now over the last 12 months. So, no, it's just gorgeous. It is lovely, and I'm sure it's fabulous for you to see how people are using these things. Maybe you hadn't envisaged that they would be used this
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
So, yeah,
I
that
see
must be
someone there saying,
wonderful.
I use the wooden tray as a tapas and cheese board. Yeah, I love it.
Oh no,
Love
they're so lovely. Like I
it.
couldn't
Yeah.
resist it. I was thinking I'd put it on the coffee table or
Yeah.
something. That was last Saturday. So yeah, no, I really
I've
have to
I
say.
have a friend, and she uses those little wooden plates for her kids as their, you know, their plates for the kids to eat from, which
Lovely.
is, yeah,
I know they're
yeah.
just, and it's such a beautiful thing, you know, in its own right. It's a really lovely tactile piece and a fantastic, amazing,
Yeah, and I
amazing.
use, like, it would be very important to me. I use natural materials a lot, you know.
Yes.
Again, it's that thing of like, I think natural materials have another layer, you know, and I don't use faux finishes, you know. It's like the integrity and authenticity of a piece should really, and then like where a lot of, in just like in that little tea bowl that you have the little plant in, where the clay is visible at the bottom, again, it's kind of about that, it's not trying to be something else. So even that small detail of showing the clay, it's kind of like showing the insides of the piece, you know. It's kind of, yeah,
letting the material speak. But I think that is so important. And you know, like you, I prefer something that's less cluttered, that's more airy and open. And that's the beauty of these kind of pieces, that these sort of textile or tactile elements, they add texture, they add interest. So
yeah,
that's a lovely way to or a lovely way to layer
yeah.
sort of interest into your home by having
And
these
even
beautiful pieces.
those pieces and the Avisa tableware that we do, when I was starting out, and I really wanted the tableware to have a layer of like the handmade or the human touch to it. And it was, how could you do that on the scale, you know, because hand painting, you know, and so we use that reactive glaze, so that like all the pieces in the collection are just, the glaze comes out slightly different because of the way the glaze reacts in the firing. And for me that was like the perfect solution, because when you go into the store, you're not looking at a sea of blue, you know, flat blue, but there's real texture and organic, and multiply that out by the whole collection. Like if you have a basket that's woven by hand using a natural material, it has a very different feel to something that's made of plastic from a machine. And I think that people maybe, it speaks to them on a level, they might know exactly what it is, you know, they couldn't tell you, pinpoint it, but when you go in, it's just that feeling of human touch, you know, and natural materials, and there's a variation, a very slight variation in everything. So for me, in starting designing the collection, it was, how can I get that across, you know, but on the scale,
on a large scale. And it really
using
works.
wood, clay, you know, reactive glazes,
Beautiful.
seagrass, jute, you know, all natural materials.
Yeah, no, they all feel so special. Like it really is like as if it's each one crafted with care. So no, it's beautiful. Really, really good. And then what are some of your favorite pieces then, Helen? If you had to pick your top three, I'm sure it's really hard, but
Yeah, it's that thing of, I think it was Paul Klee said, but like as an artist, you're always in love with the next painting. So it's like
okay.
I'm always in love with the next thing that's coming in, you know, like when you look at something for so long, and then by the time it gets on the shelves, I'm like ready for the next thing. I mean, I do still really love our Portuguese tableware. I love our candles. I'm really excited about the jute armchair that's just
Well,
gone in.
so was I when I saw it, but I've nowhere to put it, Helen. So now I'm
Sure, you can find
heartbroken.
somewhere. You put it in your bedroom.
It's so lovely. It's so lovely.
Yeah, and that is in. We're just waiting for it to go up online. It should be up next week. I think it'll be online.
Brilliant.
And that is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and we were just sourcing the right place, and that's, so I'm excited about that. We also have lots more occasional kind of small furniture items coming in the latter half of the year. And again, with that idea of like multifunctional, you know, small desks that could be used for work from home, or it could be a console table, shelving. So I'm excited about that as well. I love also our linen cushions that have just gone in, which are like a very subtle self stripe, with a little kind of flange around the edge. I'm loving those. I mean, I honestly, I know it kind of sounds a bit cliche and stuff, but I honestly do really love everything in the collection, you know.
Yeah. And what there's, and you did say it at the beginning, you know, that you want to feel that everything you put out there, you absolutely love. So, and it comes
Yeah.
across like it really, really does. I think
Yeah.
they're just gorgeous pieces. What about outdoors, Helen? I know I haven't run this past you now, but would you consider doing anything for outdoors
Yeah,
or?
we're looking at outdoor, but it
Yeah.
will be next summer.
Yeah, because I think
Yeah.
you know, the whole collection would suit the outdoors so much, that link with
Yeah.
nature, the lovely materials and
Yeah, we do
the things
have
like that.
some like a nod to outdoor. We have a big like cushion seat,
Yes.
you know, that
Yeah,
could
yeah.
be that you could bring outside, like to sit on outside.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like our seat pad, but it's double the size.
Hmm.
And we have little baskets and stuff with the idea is you know, for picnics or but we are looking for next summer at, you know, maybe doing some furniture, outdoor furniture, and some more bigger
Brilliant.
pieces for outdoor. Yeah.
Very exciting. That's
Yeah.
fabulous. And I see just a question there, suppliers, and how do you source suppliers? Somebody's asking. How is
Oh,
that?
yeah. Well,
Well,
I mean, I go to a show, Ambiente, in Germany,
mm-hmm.
and I mean, that is one of the also, you know, one of the things that really appealed to me about working with Duns
Yeah.
was being able to work with, you know, suppliers where I had this engine behind me. So, like when I was starting out, considered the quantities would have been quite small for some of the suppliers, but because they worked with Duns already, you know,
Mm-hmm.
they'd work with me because Duns was a good customer. So I
Okay.
kind of that was amazing to have that support. I mean, suppliers are really are everything. You know, your relationship with your supplier is
Sure.
everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
um and it is a real, there is an art there to finding your suppliers, and because you need the perfect mix of somebody who is going to be able to deal with quantity, whether that's very big or very small, whatever it is, that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's a match there. Your ethos is the same, the way that you work, the way that you know, your finish. And we will, you know, we work with agents a lot as well, so that you have somebody on the ground in whatever country you're working in, making sure that all the conditions
Okay.
and everything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, suppliers are so important.
I'd say, and then you know, you've got everything from textiles to ceramics to now the furniture pieces and stuff. So it's a huge network you must have. So trying to manage that, I'm sure, is
I
no
also
mean
have,
feat.
obviously I'm not doing it on my own.
Yeah,
You know, I have a fantastic team in Duns
wonderful.
who
Yeah.
have it's like I rely on their experience, you know, and they have incredible technical knowledge as well, you know,
Mm, mm.
to and oversee all of the nightmare of transport
Oh gosh.
and, you know,
Oh
getting
my
it
Lord.
here,
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
customs and all of
yeah,
that stuff, you know, and
yeah.
which is actually in the last year been really difficult.
Really difficult.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just with the pandemic, it's created and Brexit, it's created so many
Hmm.
issues. But
Hmm.
you know, I have a fantastic team, and none of that would be my strong point.
Well, that's it. We
So
need all the, yeah, we all need the
yeah,
help.
and
Yeah,
I actually
definitely.
love, you know, interestingly, when I had my own range in fashion, I was very much on my own. I had one person who came in part-time, and I love working with a team. I
Mm,
really realized when that I missed that a lot when I worked for myself, when I had my own business. You know, I love, and it's very much, you know, a collaboration with, you know, and I do listen to people, and I do take on board, you know, other people's, what other people think. I mean, obviously I do go with my gut myself, but I
mm-hmm.
will take on board um you know, other people's thoughts, and I love when people bring something to the table. So I it is a collaboration, you know, and in terms of working in there with the team, like that is so important to me. And I really find that creatively, that is when I do my best work, is when
Yeah.
I'm when I have other people to
To
talk things
support
out.
you. Yeah,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course. Because
100%.
I mean, there's so many layers to this, to running a business, to creating the
Yeah,
connection. So you need that support for the bits that aren't your strong points. So you can
yes,
completely focus on the bits where you can shine. And
yeah.
without that support, it's so hard. It's
Oh,
really, really hard. So I
so hard.
completely understand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fabulous. Well, Helen, thank you so much. We've taken up loads of your time, but that's just wonderful. It's such a pleasure to talk to you. I honestly could talk to you for the whole day. But thank you so much. Thank you for your
Thank you.
fabulous collection,
Thank you.
and cannot wait to see all the bits that are coming down the track. So
Thank you.
continued
Thanks so
success.
much for having me,
No,
and have a
absolute
lovely
pleasure.
day.
You
Yeah.
too. You too. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.